got a different angle for you today here. So instead of filming this way here, I'm filming that way. So you get to see the other side of my studio, what it looks like. And today I'm actually reviewing a Viltrox Ninja 30. I actually have reviewed a few lights of this company before, so this is not the first one. I actually enjoy reviewing this type of brands here because I think they all are very underrated and they actually offer a lot for not a whole lot of money. This is the daylight running for $349 on sale, and they also make the bicolor version which runs for $399 on sale as well. Both of these lights are 300 watts. This is the daylight only, which is the Ninja 30. If you want to get the bicolor, you're looking for the Ninja 30B. And if you're looking for simplicity, and I actually love the fact that they actually provide a power supply. I mean, it's better than a ballast, which is bigger and heavier, and they provide everything for you to mount here. In my particular preference, I actually like to mount this very close to the light, because when you actually rise the stand, the whole thing goes with it, right? Instead of putting the power supply all the way on the bottom. And a quick disclaimer, Viltrox sent me this light for me to test and review. I don't get paid to say anything. This video is not sponsored by them, and all my words and opinions, they're my own. As most of you guys know, every single light that you buy as brand new, every time you power the light on, it's going to be towards magenta, and this one here does not do that. It's actually green oriented, and every time I unpack a light, first thing that I do is to put my hand here to shine the light on my hand. I can already see if this thing is actually going to be green oriented or magenta oriented. I've been doing this for a long time, commercial videos since 1991 and weddings since 2005. So just by looking at with my naked eye here, I can already see if the light is green or magenta. Without a meter, of course, I just don't know the degree of correction, but just by knowing that this thing is actually either green or magenta, it is satisfying enough. And then on camera, most of the times the color correction is minimal. Now, one thing to pay very close attention, if you're actually operating multiple lights or multiple brands, that's when the Sekonic color spectrometer is crucial, because if you put a light here and another light over here, you need to know exactly how much magenta or green to correct. Now, with that out of the way, when you actually render your video, because everybody has a particular taste for color grading or plugins or LUTs or everything like that, so every time you do that, you're throwing these numbers out of the window, the Kelvins and the CII, TSCI. So again, the only thing that is absolutely crucial when you actually measure with a color spectrometer is to actually balance the lights on set. What you do later, it's up to you. This light is very lightweight. It weighs about 2.7 kilograms or about 6.1 pounds, and this whole entire body is made of metal, including the front elements here, and also the yoke all the way down to the receiver that attaches to the light stand. Everything is made of metal as well. And they also make sure to put a glass element in front of the LED, so when you actually take this light outside, no bugs or anything is going to be actually damaging your LED light. Even though this light is not teeth against teeth, this rubber thing here is not a problem. It's going to hold the heaviest modifiers they can put in here. So right now this light is loose, and I have a modifier here almost 1 meter in diameter, which is a heavy modifier, which this light takes it without a problem. It's not going to be drooping or anything like that. And then when you actually tighten it down, which does not require a lot of tightening to do, and as you can see, it stays where you leave it. So it's great. And then to adjust the height again here, you just tighten twice, and that's it. Now I'm actually going to put this light right here as a key light so you guys see how it looks like as far as colors and everything. So here's the very Ninja 30 as a key light right here. I'll show you this is actually indeed the light right there. So let's see how much power it will take to light me here at this distance. I cannot touch the softbox. I have to get off my seat and reach the softbox here, right? So at 9%, I'm shooting at ISO 800 f4, which is a dark lens. Imagine what you can do with f2.8 or f1.8, right? 1/60th of a second shutter, f4, ISO 800, with the light at about 5.5 feet from my face here. Only 9% is required, and you can even shut off the fan, which the fan is going to be all the way on the back of the softbox. There's no way you can hear anything. So this light is actually perfect for interviews, and this is what it looks like at 100%. That's crazy. This light is actually brighter than some other 300 watts that I've seen here. Right now, I dropped the ISO all the way to 100, and again, this is as dark as f4 and 1/60th of a second, 30 frames per second. So 50% will look like this here, and 100% will look like that. Even though I'm shining all this light in my face right now, I can still see on the monitor, which is dark compared to the light right here, so I can still see my forehead is overexposed. So if you're shooting at f2.8, you want to drop the intensity all the way to 50%. And if you're shooting at f1.8, probably 25-ish% or even less. So like I was saying before, I think on the LED business, these brands, as far as LED lighting goes, they are very underrated. As you can see, my skin tone looks great, and this light is definitely not magenta when you actually use it for the first time. So I think the skin tone looks great, and it still is a beautiful light source and a very affordable option to buy a 300-watt light. I reviewed a bunch of 300-watt lights before here for many brands, and sometimes I love when the manufacturer, they make the 1% intensity very, very gentle and dim. It's not the case with this one here. As you can see, it's still a little bit of on the aggressive mode. You know, it's something minor, but I wish this light could do the same thing. When I actually set to 1%, you actually have the tiny little 1%. So even if they made this light bulkier with the whole power supply built in, I actually like it, which is my favorite type of way to power things instead of ballast and things dangling around the ballast. But I like this power supply here that they actually supply an actual caddy holder, so it holds the power supply, which you can actually move at any height. You also fit all the way on the bottom of the stand, which the pipe is about this thick here. So this thing will expand this much, so it will fit a C stand, any other stand that you want. So here's the power supply holder. And it features rubber on both ends so it doesn't scratch your stand. And this is actually wide enough to accommodate even a C stand if you want to. So to tighten this here, you don't need to over tighten anything. Just when you have a firm grip here, this is enough. Then if you need to turn it, either turn the stand or loosen it up a little bit and then you turn it here. So you just mount this over here. Also, this whole thing is toolless. When you're done, you just do this here. Open this wide enough so the power supply will fit here. And this tab does not get in the way, it will sit right here and you're free to plug in your AC cord. Then slide down the power supply. Make sure you tighten this here. And lastly, you want to get this belt here. The Velcro should be facing that way. Then you come here and do that. And here's the other side. This knob gets a little bit in the way, but this is not going to slide down anywhere, and it takes about 85% of the actual plate here still. So it's just a little bit off here, but this is still very secure. And then I'm going to rise this as much as possible close to the light in a way that does not interfere with anything here. So here's a quick look at the back of the light. This is actually very simplistic, so it's not going to take long at all. The reason why I'm saying 5600 degrees Kelvin here is because they make the same display for the other light, and the other one will change if there is a bicolor light. The right knob adjusts the light in 1% increments and very quickly to 100%. To silence the fan, press this button. It's going to be limiting the output to 20%. To turn it back on, it's going to remember the same settings that was before, 100%. If you actually do this here, 85%, then you apply the silent fan again, go back to 85%, the same way it was before. And to access the effects, simply press the effects button, and then to cancel, go back to CCT. Or you can just press in the button, effects, and then back to CCT. To change the channel or the group, simply press the set button. This button is going to change the channel from 1 to nothing to 19. And this other knob here is going to change from A, B, C, D, E, and F back to A. And that's pretty much it. So like I was saying again, this is a daylight and also the bicolor. They both feature 12 different effects. I'm not an effect kind of guy. I usually like the continuous light, but if you want, it's built in right here. All you have to do is to press one button. You are on the effects mode. Press the same button again, you go back to the normal light. This is a 3,000 square foot studio. This light is a 300 watt light, therefore it comes with a fan inside. And this light, for being a 300 watt light, of course, at 100%, you have plenty of power to bounce light everywhere here, as you can see here. And these lights, for being 300 watts, they come with a fan, but I don't think the fan noise in this particular light is going to mess up your audio. But if you're doing interviews on a space a lot smaller than this here, probably something around, I don't know, 400 square feet, all you have to do is to press this button here, and you're going to be having an output of 20% maximum, but it's still plenty of output for most interviews, even if you install a modifier in the front. So I'm actually going to be dimming all the way to 1% and then again 20%, and that's without the reflector. I can actually even make the light more powerful if I put the reflector included with this light right here. But of course, the light is going to be pointing this way when I'm doing interview, right? And this is actually at 1% right now. To download the app to control this light via the app, all you need to do is to download the Weeylite Pro. They actually make the Weeylite Regular and the Weeylite Pro. But for the effects, you to match everything because the other one has many effects that this one does not have. So you launch the Weeylite Pro, And here's the app right here. This application does not crash, does not freeze, it works beautifully. In this case, mine is on the daylight, so all I would need to do here is to access the CCT, and there you go, from 1% to 100%, and that's it. Now, if you have a bicolor, you can actually have the shortcuts here from 3000, 4000, 5200, all these Kelvins you see here. But with this light, it's not going to make a difference. And to go back to the previous screen, this little 6 dots all the way on the bottom here, press that, and then you go back to the main display. And to pair this light is very easy. All you have to do is to allow Bluetooth connection from your phone to this light, and you're done. You can actually turn on and off the light right here, or use the power button. And you can actually do in group A, B, C, D, E, and F. Or you can also access the channels here from channel 1 to channel 19. You can also control this light via DMX. You're going to find 2 RJ45 ports in and out at the bottom of the light. Inside the package, there will be the light, of course, the power supply, and the AC power cord, which is not that long, it's about 10 feet. I wish it was longer. And it also comes included with the reflector, and also the LED protector right here. I like the fact that it's actually clear. I think it's prettier than black. Now, one thing that does not make me happy is when I unbox something and there is no case, because as you can see, there are a few components here to worry about. You have the light, the power supply, this little caddy that comes included with this light, the power cord, the reflector, and the LED protector, right? So I actually reviewed one of the lights that they make. The Weeylite and Viltrox is the same company. So the Ninja 400 Mark II comes with the case, and it's actually a beautiful case. But this one here does not. Now, if you want to transport this light, you definitely need the case, and I'm going to save you guys a lot of trouble here already and time. Look at B&H, the Godox CB16. I actually have this case right here with my other Godox lights that I have on the back there. This case is actually on sale for only $59 at the time I'm making this video here, and the original price is $89. But still, if you need a beautiful and durable case, the Godox CB16 will do for you. Now I'm going to be taking this light on my office, which is dead quiet, just in case you want to hear the fan noise. Right now we're doing a fan noise test, and I'm at the back of the studio. My private office is dead quiet here, and everything is off. So here's what the fan sounds like with the microphone about a foot from the light, and my camera is about 6 feet away. So here's what you hear right now. Now I'm going to be placing the microphone right here. Now I'm going to go behind the camera, and this is what you hear. I'm going to be quiet here for 5 to 10 seconds. And by the way, I actually have the compressor on the video, which makes quiet things louder. Now I'm going to switch to the silent fan, which the fan still spins a little bit, and this is what you hear. So right now I'm going to show you guys some weird noises that comes from the fan when it is rotating at a very low RPM. Now I'm going to go back to the where the camera is and see if we can hear anything. As you can hear, there's no problem at all, and the camera is 5 to 6 feet away. And that's it for my fan noise sound test here. Right now I have the light exactly 3 feet from this background, or nearly 1 meter away. So I have my light meter set to ISO 100 at 30 frames per second, and as you can see, the light is a bare bulb, 1%. Then we have f1.4.7. The light is still at 1%. With the reflector, we have a reading of f5.6. Now that it is set to 100%, still same thing, ISO 100, 30 frames per second. And the reading is f22.5 at ISO 100. Now without the reflector, bare bulb at 100%, the reading will drop to f8.4. And that's the end of my review. I hope you found the contents helpful. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions regarding this light, please drop them down in the comment section. I'll respond to everything that I see there. So once again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.